everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Story time on how in high school, I used to think that I used to just like older men, but I realized that I was being preyed on and groomed. So before I start the story, I kind of wanted to talk about the person, the main character that we're talking about, and the reason why I'm talking about this person. So this person used to be an alumni. Well, technically we both alumni at this high school, but during the time that I was in high school, he was still an alumni. He graduated in 2012. That's the latest. I think it was before then. I think I'm almost guaranteed it was before 2012, but 2012 was kind of like that cap, I remember, if that makes sense. So so because I graduated in 2019 and he graduated in 2012 or before, you can kind of already sense the age gap and where I'm going with this. But when I was in high school and it started in 10th grade, I was 15 during the time. He was still an alumni. So technically he's in his late 20s, I want to say. Now he's 30 something, but he was definitely in his late 20s because I remember him graduating from college. So he's also a coach at one of the track teams that we run against. Disclaimer: none of my coaches, none of the people who coach me had anything to do with any of this. I don't want no type of like nothing. Like they didn't have nothing to do. Even if they knew, they probably would have fucked him up or got him in trouble. Like that's how much they fucked with me. Like my coach was almost like a father figure to me. Like everything that I needed, that shit gonna make me emotional a little bit, but like everything that I needed, he followed through. He was just like he did too much as a coach, and it was in the most appropriate way. And I thank him, and I even still to this day. But now that I got that out the way, let's get to how he started talking to me. So I want to say one of the track meets was kind of like our initial like attraction, and I don't even want to say words like that because at the time I'm 15, he's in his late 20s, so I don't even know the word to put it, but this is where we first like start seeing like, okay, we gonna talk to each other. So it started on Instagram. I believe he DM'd me on Instagram. I'm not sure what he was saying. So when he was DMing me, it started off flirtatious. I already knew what the fuck it was and what it wasn't. So it wasn't really much that he had to like break down or kind of like, play mind games with me to get. So on top of that, I had, I was young. Like I'm still young. I got a nice little shape. So I'm kind of attracted to certain type of men, even though that don't make that it okay for them to prey on younger females or find that attractive, even if we just being our natural self. Because I wasn't just throwing myself on him. I couldn't. Like it just wouldn't work like that. I'm a kid. He's an adult. There's no way I could really throw myself on him. Oh, I forgot to mention he was in this group and they used to throw parties on the east side, like these banging ass parties. They was from like it was a college group. I think they started in college, but they was coming to Detroit and they was like throwing. But mind you, I am 15 at the time. I was a very mature 15-year-old. Like I didn't do what the average 15-year-old. Like I was trying to go to the clubs, going to parties, like just doing shit I ain't had no business doing. And half of the times I was sneaking out. And this was where I take a lot of accountability because I was very outgoing, but at the same time I never lied. I was never a liar. So if somebody asks me something, I'm gonna tell them. If you ask me my age, I'm gonna tell you I'm 15. And you know my age because you know I'm in the 10th grade because you're a coach. And when we at these track meets, you see my name and it say 10th next to it, or it say my graduation year. So you know what the fuck going on. So it's kind of like I'm taking accountability, but I'm also like throwing it on him. Like you supposed to take accountability too, because I keep mixing words up. I'm trying to make it perfect, but reality, this shit don't need to be perfect. It's just through and through. It is what it is. Story time on how I always thought I was just attracted to older men, but I'm just now realizing that I was being groomed, and I finally got pregnant by this person, and he was a coach. So I left off part one about how he was in a group that threw parties on the east side, and I was a very outgoing, mature 15, 16-year-old that I blended in when I went to these parties. Even though I didn't like smoke or nothing like that, I did drink here and there, but like I wasn't like no drinker for real. Like I probably take 1 or 2 shots, then that's it. I was more so a dancer. Like I came to the party to dance, turn up, twerk. That was kind of like my memo. But I brought that up for a reason because that was one of our encounters, but that wasn't our first encounter. So our first encounter, I believe it happened, I forgot who house we was at, but it was like a quick little encounter. So it was really like 4 main encounters before I got pregnant. And y'all know what when I'm saying encounters, what I'm, you know, where I'm getting at. But the first encounter was in the car, in his car. It was like a quick little wound, but I can tell that's when the feelings start getting involved. I wasn't like emotionally attached. Like, I never had that issue to be like emotionally attached with people. It was just like I was attached to the thrill. Like, you know, I got somebody pulling up in a car, coming to see me type shit, even though that was super inappropriate. But I'm just telling y'all the raw, authentic version of how I was feeling during this time and the reason why I was going. So the second encounter, this is where shit start getting like signs start coming at me in my life. Like, if I was wiser back then, I could have paid attention to those signs and known like this wasn't, you know, this wasn't the right thing to do. So I forgot to mention too, he had a homeboy that got drafted to the NBA. He's not in the NBA no more. So that kind of also helps try to figure out who the person is. But he used to have a house downtown. I want to say right by King High School. And this house was kind of like a house for all that college group. Remember I told y'all about the college group that he had? This is where they all, it's kind of like a frat house, but it's not a fraternity. It's kind of like an organization house. But at the same time, he doing what he doing overseas, traveling. This is just something where his people can be at, which, you know, that's some real nigga shit. But he thought that he was gonna take me here one of these nights. Let me tell y'all what happened. So he come pick me up from my house. And that's how it always went. He always came and picked me up. He'd text me. He'd be like, you know, when I want to see you, let's link or whatever. And he always came and picked me up, of course, because I wasn't driving during the time. So this at particular time, he decided to take me to this house, his friend house. So like I said, this is a chill house. So this is before everybody kind of mature with their lives. Like, the people who was there at the house now, like, I still follow the person who I'm about to talk about. I still follow him on Instagram. And I low-key, I look up to him, because if I ever wanted to do this shit the right way and live life, you know, the right way with somebody, I look at him and his wife and his kids, and that's kind of like my example. But go back to the story. So he pulls up to the house. I see the dude on the couch who I'm talking about. He know me from track and field. So mind you, during track, I was kind of known for hurdles. Around my district, it really wasn't a lot of hurdles. It probably was like 5 of us tops, and I was that top. I'd say I was top one. I'm not gonna sit here and cap. I was the top hurdler all through high school. Not gonna cap. Yeah. But so he knew me. So he knew my age. He knew I was still in high school, and he knew I wasn't no senior. So that was kind of already like the hell no to him. So when he seen me walk in, all I hear him say something to him when I go up the stairs, because I walk past everybody, but you can tell everybody get quiet. So I go upstairs and I hear him ask him something. No, he tell him to come back downstairs. Let me go back. Oh wait, I gotta go back. That was not the first time. So the second time we ever did something, we went to the house but wasn't nobody there. Okay, so I had to get that out the way because I didn't want it to make it seem like that was the first time, because when I walked in the house, I already knew where to go. So that's why I knew where to go, because I already was there before and we did something. And this time, everybody was here now. So this their first time seeing me here. They don't know this is not my first time here. So we go upstairs. I hear his friend call him back down. He says something to him. I'm guessing he asking him like, how old is she? Like, you know, what's her age? Soon as I don't know what he told him, but he was like, I heard him say loud as fuck, clear as day, oh hell no, we not doing that. Oh hell no, we not doing that. And still I want to say his name so bad, but I can't. And still to this day, like, we need more men like him in this fucking world. Like, if we had men that can call niggas out on their shit and tell them no means like no, nigga, this is not right. This is a little ass girl. You's a grown ass man. If anything, y'all not doing that on my watch. Not while I'm around this bitch. Hell no, we not going for that. And you could tell like the shitty face on his look when he came back upstairs to tell me that. But I already heard ear hustling, because in the room I was in, didn't have no TV. So like, I'm feeling away, but at the same time, I'm not feeling away. And as I go back, you know, into the story, I'm realizing this was a kind of like, I felt protected, like when he did it. Like, I wasn't scared. I wasn't, you know, he probably felt embarrassed, but I didn't feel embarrassed. I felt like maybe somebody was guiding me during that time, if that makes sense. So I just felt, whiff the comfort. And when I left out, the car where I was silent, he took me home. We didn't do nothing that day because you can tell that shit, whatever he said to him, that shit fucked with his ego. But at this point now, he got a decision to make. Do he still want to fuck with me morally, based off his morals, or is he just like just gonna cut me off based off his morals? And he still fucked with me. Okay, so now we've reached the climax of the story, and I thought this was gonna be like a 3-part story, but it's probably just gonna be 2 parts. So now we have reached the unprotected stage of our little relationship, or whatever you want to call this. And at first we was using protection, but now we're not using protection because we're comfortable with each other, and it's kind of like a routine at this point. Like, I think I'd have been in his crib when when nobody there. I'd have been at all the houses. I'd have been in the car. Like, we kind of comfortable at this point. So we go unprotected. My 11th grade year, basketball season come up. We in our regional basketball game, and I get hit in the head a certain kind of way, and I faint. So during this time, so mind you, this is not, let me go back. So before this, I ended up finding out I was pregnant right before our regional basketball game. I didn't tell nobody. I only told my coach. Didn't tell him I was pregnant, but I didn't say, nothing. I just told him I was pregnant because at this point, I would say that was the most important person other than the OBGYN clinic to tell at this time, because I was playing basketball, so I wanted him to like be very mindful and restrictful about how I'm feeling, and if I'm tired, you kind of know why type shit. But he still kind of like, had restrictions for me, but that nigga ain't had no damn restrictions for real. Like, I was still doing the same workouts everybody else was doing, but I was very much early. So this in protected pregnancy, I actually had an ectopic pregnancy. So I think I already mentioned in the story, by the time I was 16, 17 years old, I was already on my 2nd pregnancy. The first one that I'm talking about now was the ectopic pregnancy, which I found out after the basketball game. I got a surgery, they got it removed. I told him. He wasn't really like fucking with me. I think he cut me off. He did cut me off. I'm not sure what he said. I think maybe he denied it or something, but I wasn't like asking him to accept it. I was just basically letting him know what the fuck was going on, and if I needed it, to get an abortion, you was gonna have to, help me type shit. But I didn't need that because it was a different type. So now we're not talking, I want to say it had to be like the rest of my 11th grade year, but now we're in the summertime going into my 12th grade year, and now these parties coming back up, we seeing each other more, we interacting again on social media, and now we back having these encounters. So when we started back having the encounters, you can tell there was kind of like a scar left on the last incident because we started back using protection, but that didn't last long. So we kind of started back because he started coaching girls basketball as well as track. And at this time I was playing girls basketball too. So he would kind of like say, hey, you want to work out with me? He would kind of like disguise his intentions. Like, he would say, okay, we about to go work out, we about to do this. But in reality, I know where I'm going when we leave the workout spot. Like, you coming to get me for a reason. Like, yeah, we're going to work on basketball, but as soon as we done, I'm going to be playing with some other balls type shit. So I kind of already knew what was the reason why, he was back talking to me. But you could tell he was trying to keep it more like as if he was just coaching me and it was an appropriate relationship. Like, if anybody would see it. Okay, and I really didn't want to mention this because it's kind of disgusting, but at the same time, it's a good way to bring awareness, because sometimes this might be a trait or a pattern that these type of men might have. And what I found that once he cut me off after I told him, he got back with his baby mama and he got her pregnant, because I want to say right before my 12th grade year, they posted the gender reveal. So y'all know the gender reveal, it's the early stage of the pregnancy. So he had just got her pregnant probably right after I told him about my pregnancy and him cutting me off. So I'm like, okay, I didn't feel away. Like, to be honest, like, I've never been the type of person that gets so angry to the point I want to destroy something. Like, I looked at it, I seen it, my feelings probably was hurt, but I'm young, so I got distracted so motherfucking fast I forgot about it.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit live video. Hey man, we back in the confessional. Yeah, we staying lit, big dog, man. It's and my daughter plays sports. So, you know, you know. It's like, damn, man. But you can't one thing you gotta do, you gotta always talk to your daughter. And I don't try to shame my daughter, but I try to be more upfront about what guys want. And I tell her that, exactly how I feel because I've been there. And the main thing about little girls is they don't believe you. Like they don't believe you until it happens to them. Like they think that you oh, you don't know how these guys are. They're nicer than you, dad. Man, listen, I be like, what the hell? You know, but I was nice too, fool. You know, but they don't believe you. They don't believe you. Man, dads can sit up here and fight tooth and nail to their daughters about what's going on with these young boys in school and they think that they just know everything. And I just be like, yo, what the and then, you know, it just be like when you try to be overprotective, but then you be like you try to give them a little leeway, but then you be like you try to tell them like, listen, okay, you know what? This is all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna end this because it was a sick story. The dude was a nasty pervert, and we don't have really much to say about him. I don't know if she should expose him, but apparently she didn't do a third part because a lot of people from her town or wherever she's from were bringing it up and like, why bring this up now? And you might ruin this man's life as it is now, but it doesn't matter what his life is. Look what he did to her. Like, you know, he made bad decisions that changed the trajectory of her life. And he never faced consequences for it. You know, so and not that whether there was a consequence to be faced, um, she didn't know that she was being targeted. She didn't know that she was being groomed. He may have not intentionally groomed her, but his sexual desire had him do something that was inappropriate and wrong legally, morally, and he had more responsibility as a coach and as a man, not only to protect her as a player, but as a young woman. And he violated that. And that's what made it wrong, whether he knew it or not. And I'm not giving him an excuse. I'm just saying he's the adult. He should know better. And he didn't. I mean, whether he did or he didn't, he violated it. So him going on to live his life don't make no damn sense. So people who saying, "Oh, it's in the past, why you bringing it up?" Well, shit, it don't matter if it's in the past because you know, based on the situation, you know. Now, if she was a grown ass woman, we would have a different conversation. We would have to take a deeper dive into what actually happened because you're a grown woman, he's a grown man, and you're accusing him of taking advantage of you. And then we'll have to take a deeper conversation because you're telling your story, he's not telling his. He may not even know that you felt taken advantage of. And now he's seeing the story on TikTok. So that's where the sentiment comes from. But in this instance, she was still a high school student. It doesn't matter if she agreed to it or not. The fact is, she was still a high school student. She was still a minor, so it don't matter. And whether he thought it was okay or not. And a lot of people say, well, 16 is gives right to consent. I don't give a damn. So, but yeah, I was also saying, like, I forgot what, because I had went into something else. But yeah, we gotta end up telling these kids, telling our kids, our daughters, we gotta find a way to tell them, like, bro, these dudes really don't care about you. They think they care about them. They really don't. I mean, some of y'all grown women got baby daddies that y'all thought cared about y'all, and they don't. So to think that a young teenager would care about you is insane. And so I think there's enough examples out there for us to show these girls, and I think they're still gonna go and do what they want to do just because they want to do it, and they don't want to listen to nobody else. So it is what it is.